Hello and welcome to week one. I look forward to spending the next 9 weeks with all of you. I'd like to first start off by stepping through kind of this online structure. I know some of you, this is your very first online class. If so, welcome. And for some of you, you've already done a bunch of online classes already. So this will just be just a revisit of kind of what we're expecting out of this class and how to interface using the Canvas learning system. So this is the start page here. Welcome to ASCII 202 Intro to Aeronautical Science. You can click at the start here. You'll get my bio and as well as academic resources. So I'll first start with the start here. And here, what you can see is this is going to give you all about your student responsibilities, how courses work online here at Embry-Riddle, plagiarism, and then also how to get into the online library. The online library is a fantastic way to get some resources, especially for papers later on through this class and through your future classes here at Embry-Riddle. So next, we'll scroll over to the next page here. This is just my instructor contact bio and information and my policies here. So you can read through this. My bio video is on there as well as just kind of what my expectations are. So just to lay them out very briefly for you, what I expect for the discussion board posts is on Friday, you do your initial post and then you reply to at least 2 other board posts by Sunday, the end of the day. Remember, all of these times are East Coast U.S. time, so Daytona Beach, Florida time. So some of you I know are international, so make sure you set your clocks there appropriately for turning everything in. The other highlight is I expect you to reply to at least 2 other students' posts throughout that time. So remember, initial post is due Friday, and then reply to at least 2 other students by Sunday. And the more posts you do, the more interactive and the more fun we can have in the discussion board posts. Additionally, each week we have an assignment that's due on Sunday, so it alternates weeks. One is going to be the odd number weeks are going to be presentation assignments, which we'll talk to here in just a moment, and your even numbered weeks are going to be paper assignments, which we'll talk more to next week, since next week will be your first paper assignment that's due. So here's all of my information regarding late work, etc. As we move on to the next page here, I'm just going to have you send an email to me just verifying your enrollment here in the class, and I'll send one back to you. And then here's another page on academic resources. So please review what we're expecting for academic resources. Remember, this is a collegiate level class, so we're expecting your writing to be at the collegiate level and also your resources and citing to be at the collegiate level as well. So remember Wikipedia. I'll just briefly tell you about Wikipedia. Wikipedia obviously is a great wealth of information, but remember it's user fed, so we don't use that as a scholarly source. However, if you want to use Wikipedia, you can use that just to get general information on the subject matter. And then if you look at the bottom, they typically try to cite their sources, and there oftentimes you will find scholarly references there. So don't cite Wikipedia directly, but find where their original reference material is, and oftentimes that will be sufficient for scholarly articles. And then there's other databases here as well. APA is what we use. So in this course, that's how to write at the collegiate level, and that's what Embry-Riddle uses is APA formatting. So the only book that's required for this book is the APA book in the manual. There's a lot of resources online regarding APA. For some of you, this is the very first time writing an APA. I admit that for the very first time, it can be challenging, but once you get the hang of it, it's really not too difficult to do. Here's another page for just some keys to success throughout your time here at Riddle. This is your invitation to join the e-union page there. You guys can read through that at your leisure. Here's my online office. I will check my online office often. I'll try to check it every day, but at least every other day. Also, you feel free to send me an email there, and that's also highlighted in my instructor policies and my bio. The Student Lounge is a non-graded area. It allows you to communicate with other students and discuss with other students. I don't typically monitor this, but occasionally I can chime in if there's questions that are asked that maybe I feel like I can be of assistance to. Instructor's Corner is something where I do chime in. So if you have something to contribute or some questions, just general stuff about the aviation industry, questions from me or from other students, this is a great place to do it. This is completely not graded and completely off the record, if you will, just to kind of help allow all the students to help each other out, because I know a lot of you come from a wealth of different resources. Here's information on your blog information. and how to write your blog posts. And then here's your presentation assignment guidance. So in a nutshell, your week 1 presentation assignment is going to be due on Sunday. And remember, that's going to be odd numbered weeks. There's a whole bunch of different tools there to utilize for presentation assignments. I'll tell you the most common one is obviously to use PowerPoint. That's the one that's most well known and most folks are familiar with. It's also fairly easy for me to grade. So please look through on how to make the presentations there. We'll talk more about that here in just a minute. Other options are to use QuickTime Player, other slideshow presentations there as well, and that's kind of up to you. Also, Embry-Riddle does allow or offer free subscriptions, student subscriptions to Microsoft Office. If you have any questions on that, you can look first at the Embry-Riddle homepage, and if you have any questions on that directly, please feel free to contact me, and I can guide you in the right way. Remember, there's plagiarism policies and copyrights, so here's more information on that. Turnitin is what the program is that all of your papers are submitted to check it against a database for plagiarism. Here's more information on Flight Safety Foundation. And then this page right here is extremely important. So again, you're not going to need this for week 1, 3, or any of the odd number weeks, but for the even number weeks. This is your APA sample paper template. This is a phenomenal resource. It's a pre-written APA paper that's a template that all you really need to do is fill it in with your own words to create your paper. And for your very first couple papers, this is a great way to gain the most amount of points as far as formatting is concerned with the least amount of headache. That's the easiest way for me to put that. Okay, next we'll go into actual Module 1. So this is what your initial page is going to look like, introducing you into Module 1. And then you can just keep clicking through here. Here's the instructor's corner, and then you'll get slowly into the assignment. So here's your blog post for your first one, which is going to be just introducing yourself. You can see that already we've got a lot of you folks already participating in that. And then you're reading some resources. So a lot of this is going to come out of Pilot's Handbook of Aeronautical Knowledge, and then it's going to be a lot of links for Code of Federal Regulations, etc. So go through each of these and read the sections that are applicable for the chapter. And then remember, whatever you read in the reading and resources, that is really what your material should be on for your assignments on Sunday. So for example, this Sunday, our assignment is going to be a presentation assignment. And within that assignment, I expect you to use what you've learned through the Readings and Resources tab. So here, Pilot's Handbook of Aeronautical Knowledge, Chapter 1, the Code of Federal Regulations, Chapter 1, Subpart D, etc., and then Flight Attendant Certificate of Demonstrated Proficiency, etc. So each week, I expect references or at least something pertaining to the readings and resources that were part of that. It helps me also to evaluate if you're understanding the material and the objectives for this assignment. So this is going to be your first assignment. It's their presentation assignment. So I'm going to briefly talk to you about how these are generally built. So this assignment is to build a job description. So it's telling you that you're assuming the role of a human resources manager. This is going to be common in many of the presentation assignments. You're going to assume the role of a manager or somebody on the hiring committee, etc. For this specific assignment, you're preparing you're preparing a briefing that's going to identify supporting and necessary qualifications, certifications, and attributes to one of the positions. So pilot, maintenance technician, avionics dispatcher, or air traffic control. So that's going to be your choice. Here is going to be the key. Down here, it says, up here it's going to say you need a minimum of 5 slides, but no more than 8, not including the title slide or reference slides. So that means I'm looking for probably 7 to 10 slides total. So 1 slide being your title slide and 1 slide being your reference slide. All the references need to be cited in APA format. It also needs to have embedded audio. So again, PowerPoint's a great way of doing this where you can embed audio. You click a little link, you could talk into your speaker or your microphone on your computer or a handheld microphone, and then all I do is I hit the play button. And when you submit that, I can either just read the raw file, a PowerPoint file that you send me, or you can put it in presentation format. I recommend you just send me the raw file in there. It makes it a little bit easier for me to interact with it. Additionally, you have to put the notes. So in here it says embedded audio and include the speaker's notes. That's part of your grade is the speaker's notes and the audio. So the speaker's notes, just put it in the notes section there at the bottom of PowerPoint. If you're using a different program that doesn't allow you to have speaker's notes, then you need to put that in a separate Word document and submit that as a separate document. But I need something in the way of speaker's notes. What I need you to do is I want you to pretend as if you are actually presenting this assignment virtually or in person, but I need you to discuss it, not just read what's on the slide, but actually discuss it as a presentation, just a couple minutes long, describing what is on your slides there. The content itself is going to be right here. So at a minimum, your presentation must identify the job description for the position, explain the criteria needed for the position, explain the privileges of certification in this position, defend the importance of the minimum qualifications and certification standards for the position, and then also include the reference slide. So if you read that, if you have a title slide and then one slide essentially for each of these, or at least covering each of these subjects, and then finally a reference slide, that should make up your full presentation there. And then that should hit all the minimums there. Make sure you have the embedded audio and include the speaker's notes in that as well. And then you can, again, at the bottom here, there's a link back to earlier on talking about the presentation assignment guidance on the actual assignment. So that's going to be how most of your presentations are going to be posted there in a nutshell. Again, I'm looking for those on no later than the end of the day Sunday. If you have any questions, please reach out. I look forward to a fantastic week this week, and then we'll talk to you all at the end of the week.